Hello, and welcome to episode number 2 of our Decades Challenge, our ultimate Decades Challenge. That's right, we are starting, this episode in 1302. It's crazy. So I hope you are ready with your cup of tea, a little bit cozy today. I have some Earl Grey with oat milk, my classic, now that I'm pregnant, can't handle coffee every day. And we are here with the Worthams. So the Worthams have their son. This is dear little Winthrop, and he's honestly really adorable. They also have another child, another son. His name is John, and I am very eager to get things moving because I'm very worried about the mortality rates. So we are just going to kick it right off today with some woohoos. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually end up with a pregnancy. Briar doesn't seem to be the most fertile of my Sims. That may be from the adjusted fertility rates that we're working with. I'm not totally sure. But I'm scared. I'm really scared that no one is going to live until their adulthood and actually have kids of their own to make it to generation 2. Like, guys, these mortality rates are crazy. If you haven't looked at them, give them a glance and test them out. Like, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's fine. No, it's so much worse. So we are going to be working on getting ourselves some chickens. We don't have a lot of money, but we keep losing our chickens to the foxes. And I am stupid and keep trying anyways, despite the fact that we don't have fences. So things around the house are breaking pretty often, but thankfully we have Adric to do a lot of the housekeeping, do a lot of the work around the house by rebuilding the drying rack and stuff like that. We're giving plants another go. So last time I think we're having a glitch. I'm pretty sure it's a glitch because I have looked through everything and I don't think I have any mods that affect gardening, but it may be buried in there somewhere. So it is time for church, and we are going to be doing a baptism for our sweet little Winthrop today. So when my Sims age up into toddlers, we do their baptisms for them. And this, of course, costs a little bit of money, which I forgot about. So we technically owe the church money, and it's a whole thing. And that was the most anticlimactic baptism you could have imagined. Oh, Briar, you weren't even facing the sink. Sims team, what is this animation? If it's like that, why is it even still in the game if it's practically broken? So I send everyone home, and of course there's a lot of work to be done around the house. I'm actually really struggling to keep up with laundry, which if you've been watching my Regency era challenge, probably doesn't surprise you. And we've got our cute little chick wandering around, but unfortunately the rooster gets into a bit of a fight with a fox again. But the rooster wins, and I hope the rooster will continue to win. Now, she wasn't pregnant with our last woohoo, so we're giving this another go. Unfortunately, the kiddos are a little bit cranky. I mean, John is doing fine, but Winthrop is... Oh my god, you got struck by lightning? What did you do? Why were you outside in the storm? Oh, Adric, I'm so sorry. And Briar is not pregnant. Oh, why? Okay, we're just trying again. We're just gonna keep this rolling. I am determined to have another baby at this point, even though he literally was just struck by lightning and his wife is like, yo, bed me now. Are you serious? I didn't even know. Is this new? Are repo men new in this game? I swear The Sims 4 didn't used to have repo men. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. He's gonna take our stove, which is great. How are we supposed to cook? Oh, hello, Ari. Do you want to say hi to the interwebs? I don't think he does. He just wants snacks. And seriously, you're taking our awning too? But that's like attached to the house. Oh god, please don't be the bed. Oh, it's just the flowers. Okay, well, we can survive that. We've lost quite a bit, and we definitely can't afford to replace it at the moment, which is a little bit tragic. However, we finally are pregnant again. Yay, Briar. Go ahead and go tell your hubby, and I'm sure he'll be excited and not deeply traumatized because you have very little space and very little money. Now, Adric has been doing a lot of extra work around the house with the kiddos. They're actually splitting kind of child rearing very very well for a medieval type family. But you know what? When it comes to these kids, it's just like you take what you get, you do what you can. You know, the chick, in an attempt to be saved from the foxes, now lives inside of our house. I'm not sure how it wound up in there, but you know what? If it's safe inside, the chick can stay inside. I don't even care. These two are actually like building up their relationship. So I know at the beginning of the challenge they were kind of fighting a lot. Ooh, we have a lifestyle close knit. That's actually really cute. I feel like that's really appropriate for these two. Now we are entering 1303. Adric has decided he doesn't like mechanical things and handiness, which is actually a little bit tragic considering the fact that he does all of the maintenance around the house. And Winthrop has decided to be a proper little pain in the neck by destroying everything in the house. Although I will admit that we are not exactly doing a whole lot of parenting, which may be part of the issue. We're having a bit of a rainy season, and Briar is doing a good deal of knitting. We've been trying to sell a lot of our stuff on Plopsy. Now, by selling on Plopsy, I'm sort of just pretending that she's going to the market and selling it to like neighbors, to people around the village, and stuff like that. So I'm not worried too much. Like, some of the extra fees are a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. We're living through it. Now it is Sunday, which means we are back at the church today. We have, I think this is what, Daryl Charm as the priest, but you know what? We need a father, and he will fit the bill. Unfortunately, the town is still very small, so it's pretty much just these two at the church at the moment, and a bunch of townies that are not historically dressed. However, we are starting to put the neighbors, put the townies in some medieval garb. It's just taking me a little while, so sorry for the break in immersion if you ever see it. Turns out The Sims 4 is a little challenging with that kind of stuff. Now, these two do have a cute little moment sitting in the garden in the back church. I need to sort of refurbish this church a little bit and actually have a spot for tombstones, because at the moment we don't have anywhere to bury people, and it's a pretty small lot. So I think we're gonna have to cut this back garden area into a bit of a cemetery, especially because we're gonna need a cemetery very soon with this family. But look how cute they are. They're actually just like really sweet with each other. Their relationship has been blossoming recently. I think parenthood is suiting them really well. Back at home, the kiddo's room is a bit of a proper mess. However, it is time to age up John, which is really exciting. Oh my god, I've been calling this child John. It's Melba. This is Melba. Oh dear god, I'm so sorry, guys. So this is their daughter, Melba. She has aged up into a toddler, and I am very excited to see what she looks like. I give her some cute little freckles to kind of match her red hair, and she's got like she's got some pretty like green eyes, which I think we can definitely play up a little bit too. They're almost like a bit of a hazel color, which I think is really lovely. And I settle kind of on these eyes. We just give her like a little dash of makeup to, you know, enhance her toddlerness, because she is very, very pale. And most toddlers would sort of have like slightly rosy cheeks. And there she is. There's little Melba. She is absolutely adorable and is on pretty good terms with her father, which is really cute. Look at the way she looks at him. She's so excited. Unfortunately, our handiness-hating father here is doing a lot of housework at the moment. He keeps canceling out cues when I tell him to repair things, which is driving me absolutely batty, but it's okay. Melba and Winthrop are also cute little friends. I think they're going to be very close as they continue to age up, which is really nice. The garden is struggling a lot. We keep having bugs, and so unfortunately we're spending most of our time in the garden, and I'm not really optimistic that it's going to pay off. But you know what? We do what we can. I wonder if there's a default replacement for the paint that makes the paint toddler spray everywhere kind of like just dirt. I feel like dirt would be more historically inaccurate. would be more historically accurate, but I'm not really sure that exists. I've been struggling a lot to find default replacements. Also, it is now time for Briar to have another baby. I can't wait. So this baby is a boy, and this one is John. I'm deeply sorry for calling Melba John for the past like 10 minutes. Oh, it's fine. We're doing great, guys. We're doing great. I take like 1 week off of posting and I forget everyone's names. These two are definitely excited about their new sibling. I'm actually pretty impressed because I know toddlers sometimes get a little bit fussy when they have a new sibling, but honestly they seem really excited. They're both getting like really positive moodlets about their little sibling. Unfortunately, everyone is kind of a mess and dirty all the time, so we are constantly like just putting these children in the baths, but I feel like they're probably just running around playing in mud and dirt, so it kind of makes sense that they're constantly dirty. But I don't know, it would be nice if there were some kind of mod that like extended hygiene a little bit so you wouldn't have to bathe quite as often, because it is sort of historically inaccurate. But that's okay. Look how adorable Melba is in her sad little face because she's not enjoying her little sandwich at all. We also end up getting a table for cards because Adric is always miserable. His fun is never high. His wife, fine. Like, Briar is pretty happy most of the time, but Adric is so hard to keep happy. I don't know what the issue is. So they invite over the priest from town and oftentimes do a lot of cards. He is kind of the only person in town that they actually know at this point, and so he comes over honestly quite often, which like is fine. You know, I feel like the local priest would probably check in and do the rounds in the neighborhood and stuff, so I don't mind it, but I do hope they meet some new friends, especially the people that I've kind of dressed up to be in sort of like, you know, medieval garb as well. I also looked for a laundry replacement and I can't find one, which is driving me a little crazy. So if any of you know a laundry default replacement that makes it just look like some linen or just like neutral colored clothing, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that so much. I found one, but the link is broken and I'm not really sure how to get around it. So send me your recommendations, please, and thank you. I would really appreciate it. The kiddos unfortunately wake up constantly because of their little brother John, but that is okay. Also, we have some very sad news, and that is that Melba has contracted typhoid. Now, I'm not exactly sure if typhoid is a historically accurate disease at this point. Probably not. I'm not sure if it happened, I'm not sure it would be called typhoid, but I did get a pop-up earlier that said Melba had contracted typhoid. Unfortunately, Melba does not survive her mortality rates, and so as a toddler, I decide to go ahead and use the Life Tragedies mod to give her the fatal illness trait. So unfortunately, Melba's not going to be with us much longer. Her family is pretty aware of the situation. Like, she's come down with a sickness. It seems very serious, and of course they can tell that something is wrong. Meanwhile, Winthrop destroys the kitchen as the proper little terror that he actually is. But at least these two can kind of take a moment's break because it is Harvest Fest. So despite the tragedy, despite the, you know, trauma of their daughter getting very ill and kind of passing out around the house, at the very least we have something to celebrate. Unfortunately, you can see we don't have a lot of money, so it's not like we can really celebrate Harvest Fest in a proper way. Like, we're not going to have a big dinner, we're not going to be inviting over neighbors. There's definitely a lot going on in this household because Melba's sick, and of course since she's sick we don't want to invite people over and risk them getting sick too in case it's contagious, so you know, it's a little bit complicated. We spend most of Harvest Fest working in the garden until Briar actually goes into labor. However, while in labor, she still continues to work in the garden and the laundry because Briar is like amazing. Also, you can see the laundry. You can see my shame that is laundry in this house. It's not good. It's really not good. So we are having the baby. And it is another boy. We have so many boys in this family. So we are going to be naming this boy Ildbad. And I have been using a medieval name generator. But if you guys have any name suggestions that you want to throw out that are medieval, I will happily listen to those as well. So now we have little Ildbad. Unfortunately, he's born right around the same time that Melba is passing away from her deadly disease. Now, unfortunately, because she's a toddler, it glitches out a little bit. I'm not sure if it's because the mod just hasn't been updated recently, but you can see that we just sort of get her urn. And because we can't really pay the interment fee at the church at the moment, and because the church isn't really ready for interments, we do bury her in the yard just to the side of the house. Am I going to regret this from all of the toddler ghosts that we end up having? Oh, most definitely. But we're gonna live with it nonetheless. And Grim actually decides to stay and do some gardening for us. He's doing some weeding, which, like, yes, Grim, I'm very okay with this option. But it's kind of the middle of the night, and unfortunately there's still work to be done. We've got to clean all of the clothing, make sure everything is clean after the passing of our dear little Melba, maybe put her clothes away somewhere. And because you saw the laundry, like, we have to stay on top of this. It's piling up under the bed. It's just becoming a proper nightmare. Unfortunately, Winthrop is really heartbroken by the loss of his sister. He doesn't totally understand the situation yet because he's so young, but he is really, really traumatized by it and really sad and really upset. And I think we can't blame him from that. Winthrop and Melba were actually pretty close. So thankfully it is time for John to actually age up as well. He gets the angelic trait, which is, oh my god, wonderful. What a good trait that is. Thank God though, because, like, honestly, we need something easy. He actually looks so much like Melba. Like, he has sort of different eyes than her. Like, his eyes are more green than sort of like hazel. And so we just, like, we doctor him up just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, because he's so cute. He also has that red hair that his sister has as well. And I'm going to give him a red hair that's a little bit more similar to his mom's as well. So I think that's actually really cute. He's an adorable child, and I'm pretty excited about it. So here he is. Here's little John. I think he's super cute. Look at those eyes. He's just, oh, he's precious. I think he's turned out so well. And I think this is actually really good timing because obviously Winthrop is really feeling the loss of his sister, and now he has a brother who's pretty close in age who can kind of, like, fill that hole and be playing with him a lot. So I think they'll be really, really sweet together. Now, the kids are having a lot of trouble falling asleep because they are still upset about Melba. So the parents have been trying to read them to sleep. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this because, like, I'm not actually sure that they would be literate at this point. They probably wouldn't be. Maybe it's just like a picture book and they're explaining what happens in the picture. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think maybe we shouldn't have them read to sleep. Like, that feels a little inaccurate. We do end up with a little bit extra money finally. And because we lost all of our chickens again, I mean, God, who could have anticipated this? Apparently not me. We do give them a teeny tiny little fenced in yard for the chickens, so that way the foxes can stop murdering my chickens ruthlessly. Actually, I'm kind of, like, impressed that The Sims 4 has that as an option because it's generally so tame. Now, it is the Finchwick Fair or something along those lines, and so I send the family out to kind of enjoy the town. We have the town mayor here. She's dressed up in some nice medieval stuff as well. I'm a little bit disappointed at how much there is to do at this festival because there's kind of nothing. Like, there's nothing we can harvest, there's nothing we can play with, like, where is all the stuff? Like, we've got a cow, but, like, what are we, the viewers, supposed to be doing with this random cow that we don't own? Like, I just feel like there should be more to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking into, like, a broken record here. Also, I don't know what's going on in the save, but I swear there is a festival or two literally every single day. Like, what is happening? Is that normal? Is The Sims 2 just, or is The Sims 4 just constantly like throwing out festivals now? Like, what's going on? We sell a ton of mushrooms. We sell a bunch of black beans. We have a bunch of produce, and a lot of that money that we've been getting were from selling apples because we do have like several apple trees, like 4 apple trees. So thankfully we've got that going. We also have some eggs, which unfortunately I keep accidentally letting spoil. We are going to try planting some things again. I did read some comments from you guys. Thank you so much for telling me to try using the fertile soil trait for the land. I am going to give that a go next episode, and we will see if that does a little bit of help. So we're trying to plant even more stuff. This is definitely a bit of a gamble because we could just be losing all of these plants. But like, I'm planting things in the right season in hope that that will solve some of the death issues from these plants, because surely if they're planted in the right season, it's fine. Now we check on some of our little like chickens, and the chickens are doing well. We're harvesting a few eggs, not many. Obviously we have like a chicken and a chick, so we're not going to be getting a whole lot. No, my spinach plants! I just took care of you. You were fine. Why is it like this? So we, anticipating the loss of dear Melba, go again at trying for another baby. We're just gonna keep the ball rolling. The kiddos are actually kind of like entertaining themselves. I feel like they're pretty good kids. Like, they do skilling on their own, they learn as they live, and it feels kind of realistic, which I actually really like. And lo and behold, we are pregnant with another baby. I can't believe how easy that one was, because normally we have to try like 3 or 4 times with this poor girl, but she got pregnant right off the bat this time, which is super, super exciting. Her husband actually seems a little more excited this time too, and is actually like doing a whole lot of work with the kiddos with some like flashcards and stuff. However, he also goes to work, so he's been working as a blacksmith. Thank you guys for turning me on to those career options, and so he gets paid like 40 simoleons a day. No more spinach! Why is this happening to me? I have been taking care of them, I promise. I don't know what the issue is. Do you have like the black thumb trait or something? Like, what am I missing here? The kiddos keep waking up their parents crying. They're still obviously very, very sad about Melba's death. Although John didn't really know Melba that well, but like, I think John can probably intuit that everyone is a little bit upset in the household. So like, it's fine. He just needs a little bit extra love, and that's all right. Oh, great. Briar doesn't like handiness either. That is just what we want to see. But look how cute these two are. They have such a good relationship. I hope that relationship continues as they age up into kiddos and stuff. And that actually is coming around the corner. We'll be having dear little Winthrop age up pretty soon, probably next episode, which I'm really excited about. The kiddos are constantly hungry and cranky, but you know what? We're working on it. It is okay. And it is almost time for the baby. Look at all of those negative moodlets. Poor Briar is just like, I'm so pregnant and I'm struggling so much. And now Adric has scarlet fever. Oh my god, this family just can't get a break. And we've turned off our power again. I keep wanting to have the game in like off the grid, but like stuff doesn't work and it's driving me a little bit batty. So if you have any suggestions about getting off the grid to work with like a bathtub and stuff like that, let me know, because I am struggling with it a little bit. We also end up with some kind of miscarriage glitch. I'm not really sure what's going on. I think maybe I need to update my miscarriage mod, because she's fine. Like, Briar, nothing is happening, and her husband is just in a constant state of panic to the point where he's probably gonna die if he continues with that. So I think this will be a good place to end the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We will find out next episode if Briar ends up having a miscarriage, or if this was a bit of a false alarm and Hopefully it is, because God, this poor girl has been through it recently with the loss of her daughter. So I will see you next time. If you liked today's episode and you want to see some more, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all for your presence. Bye!